Hello, Narnach here. Welcome back to Path of Exile. We are playing in the hardcore Breach League as a solo self-found Necromancer, using Beacon of Corruption to turn minions into caustic clouds. Today we're gonna run the Cavern map, and it's a nice blue one. We have Elemental Equilibrium, which doesn't really affect us, but the boss is gonna be tougher and has a larger AoE. In the Cavern, the boss is a golem that has its own nice little room in a corner of the map, but it is out in the open. So I'm confident we can deal with this. I just ran the Cavern as a white map before, now we're running it as a blue one. So it should be fine. I do like the Cavern map. It's nice, it's basically a big circle. And the boss is roughly on the opposite side of where we started. And it worked out rather well. You might notice that our skill bar looks slightly different from before, and that is because I made quite a number of interesting changes, and it's all quality of life improvements as well as a way to better deal with breaches, and also as a side effect, boss fights. So vulnerability is now a actively cast skill. I managed to pry it away from cast when damage taken. And we got the Cavern map, that's nice. So, vulnerability as a refresher. Enemies take more physical damage and they take increased damage from damage over time effects. So this has two effects. On the one hand, our zombies and whatever else we manage to summon, whenever they punch something in the face, that's gonna hurt more. So it's gonna just help us take mobs down faster. In addition, the damage over time component is of course going to be a very good boost for Caustic Cloud, which is all damage over time. So Caustic Cloud suddenly does 33% more damage, which is a rather strong bonus, and we don't even need to spend a link on it. Speaking of links, I took increased area of effect out of our chain and replaced it with Desecrate. Desecrate is now part of our cast when damage taken chain. So we have Wither, cast while channeling, cast while channeling. We have Desecrate, we got Raging Spirit, Raise Spectre, and minion and damage support. So while we are channeling, we are gonna plop down those nice little tombstones with 3 corpses next to them. And then when Raise Spectre comes by, we scoop up one of the corpses and turn it into a Spectre, leaving the previous Spectre behind as a nice puff of smoke. Also, we are still pushing forward, yeah. There's a little bit of branching going on here, so I do need to make sure that you clear out the side bits to minimize back traveling. Because one of our biggest problems in the build was dealing with breaches, and before we continuously had to stop and cast Desecrate while channeling, interrupting our flow and everything like that, and it was really easy to forget. So, well, by putting Desecrate into the chain, we always guarantee that there are corpses, and specifically we are littering the battlefield with corpses, way more than we did before, because we push it to its limits. Whenever Desecrate has 3 charges, and each 5 seconds you recharge 1 charge. Once all charges run out, it actually gets disabled, and our cast while channeling is basically almost as if there's only 2 items in the link. So Spirit, the cast Raising Spirits and Raise Spectres are going to alternate, and it's not that Desecrate while disabled takes up an empty slot. So early on in a fight, we're going to get about 6 or 7 Raging Spirits. Once our Desecrate has been exhausted, the number of spirits is going to rise to 10. So it is a self-balancing mechanism, and for that it's pretty nice. We forego the option of having an extra link, but the fact that we get our corpses back and that we just scatter Desecrate all over the map really makes up for it. Also, Desecrate by itself, it does 300 chaos damage per second. So there's a little bit of extra damage that just stacks on top of the other damage. It's not gonna kill any end bosses, but all little bits do help. Being able to cast vulnerability like this just makes it stronger and helps us really get going. And the gameplay basically just got smoother. But let's take a step back here from the Flame Blood. And yeah, I already liked the build before, but it plays a little bit faster, a little bit more aggressive now, without needing to take needless risks, which is good. Because, well, I'm pretty good at taking needless risks and getting myself into trouble. This looks like the avenue to the boss, so let's keep an eye out and deal with all the stuff over here. Also, I'm standing in a tornado. Don't really appreciate that. The eroding one, this is the boss. So we can just make it vulnerable and then we just channel it to bits. And there's that. Also, the fact that we took a link out of the 6 link, it makes our wither cheaper to channel and therefore it makes mana management easier. And that was the eroding one. So the boss is dead. And we didn't even get a t-shirt. Also, might as well make a quick town stop, empty our pockets and then move forward. So far I've been testing this new skill layout in the Dried Lake, and before that I tested the Cavern as a white map to fill out the map, see how it worked again, and to get a gauge for how things are. So far so good. Haven't done a high level breach with it. I've done breaches in the Dried Lake, but of course we are level 80. That means doing breaches anywhere that's not maps is gonna be a walk in the park. So the damage output in a Dried Lake breach is not gonna mean all that much. Even though it went rather smooth. I really still wanna test it out on a map. Previous map run I didn't have a breach, so chances are this map run is gonna have a breach. So we shall see. Hello, Ghosty. Previous map I had 2 ghosts close together. Now there's just a single one. Tormented Spy. Just curse the ghost. Come on. Yes, that works. I mean, if there's no rares to possess, you might as well kill the ghost and benefit from its drops. Okay, so the one slight downside of the cavern is that it does have some small branches going off to the side that... Ooh, blessed orb. Some might stretch on, some might not, but in the end the map is roughly round, so you can keep that in mind. Just every once in a while, just have a bit of a look back to see if there's maybe some small rooms to the side that you missed, and then clear those. Corrupting Blood, that's going to be an issue for our minions, not for ourselves. One of the nice things of not actually doing a lot of damage ourselves is, of course, that we don't really get a backlash from Corrupting Blood. Okay, just convoke our minions back to us and then focus on the other side here. But so far things are progressing rather smoothly. Of course, being a level 80 in a tier 3 map should be smoothly, but well, it's been a yeah, basically a journey of discovery with this build, seeing what works, what doesn't work, and though even well into our 70s. Things were tricky to deal with, but now I'm feeling more confident about the build. So soon we're gonna make the step to tier 4 maps and see how that works for us. Now see, we missed a little side area over there. Chances are it was actually a dead end. That's the only slight downside. Other than that, this map is pretty straightforward. It's really easy to get to the boss, which is nice if you're of course speedrunning things like this. Only killing the boss and then just getting out, or basically making the circle and ignoring the side areas. If you're more into just clear speed, then that's probably gonna be your strategy, as you get all the mobs in. But of course, that is not my strategy. I do like my full clears. Okay, let's have a bit of a look in the center here. And this ties back to beginning. We started in the corner over there. Let's see if around the corner... Yeah, there's 3 more mobs, and those are everything that's on this map. We did a full clear. I'm rather pleased with that. Oh, there you have it. The Cavern and a demonstration of our new build. So as an overview, we currently have a 6-link with Wither, Castspell Channeling, Desecrate, Summon Raising Spirits, Raise Spectre and Minion Damage. Minion Damage is a more multiplier, so it's more effective to put this one in instead of Minion Life. Castspell Damage Taken. I currently have it at level 4, 725 damage. It's an arbitrary number there where I just remembered to pin it. It works enough. I mean, we have 7,500, so it's basically less than 10% of our life where it triggers. So before we die, it triggers 10 times or something along those lines. So we get Immortal Call in here, we have Spirit Offering, and we have Tempest Shield. You could also put Arctic Breath in here, or anything really that works for you. I chose Tempest because the block chance is nice, and doing a little bit of lightning damage might be useful as well. Raise Zombie, Minion Damage, Minion Life, and Stone Golem. Up here, similarly, we got Vaal, Summon Skeletons, Minion Damage, Minion Life. For our auras, Arctic Armor and Discipline, and Vulnerability is now standalone castable. And over here we got Flame Dash linked with faster casting, linked with Convocation, so we can convoke a bit faster. Though you could also swap Convocation and Vulnerability around, because you're probably going to be casting Vulnerability more often than Convocation. On the other hand, Convocation has a longer casting time, so reducing that from 0.8 to 0.55 seconds has a bit more upsides than reducing Vulnerability from 0.5 to 0.35 or something. Let's see, our gear. Now that we're going over everything, might as well. If we look at our stats, we are maxed out on resistances, overcapped even. Our chaos is at 101%, so that's going to be 41% in all maps. This is all overcapped. Fire is even at the point where even if we are encountering a red map tier elemental weakness, then we will still be maxed. The other ones still need about 20% more. I think 169 is the number you want to aim for between parentheses in your hideout to clear yourself for all vulnerabilities. We're using Zealot's Oath to regenerate our energy shield. Currently we regenerated 200 energy shield per second. About half of that is thanks to our Stone Golem. And when we don't get attacked, we regenerate about 1000 energy shield per second. So in 3.7 seconds we are maxed out. We have a minimal amount of evasion and physical damage reduction. This physical damage reduction is not from armor, it's from our 8 zombies. So we lose the zombies, we lose the damage reduction. And a block chance is 28% thanks to a shield that has plus 5% chance to block and a boatload of energy shield. This is actually a rather nice shield. So with Tempest Shield, it's 31% chance to block attacks. So against attacks, we have some protection against spells. We currently don't really have a lot. We got the Quartz Flask, of course, to give us a little bit of dodging and to remove freezing and chill. So in the Tool Breach, this is a good way to get out. Also, because you get phasing from this, monsters are gonna prioritize you less compared to are minions, so you have less chance of getting attacked while phased, so you have a better chance of escaping from danger. If you combine this with Quicksilver Flask or with Flame Dash to maneuver yourself into a slightly safer position, follow it up with Convocation to just pull all the minions back to yourself, then you got a pretty decent way to protect yourself. Let's continue with gear. So, a generic wand. The only stats on here that are relevant are Chaos Resistance and Fire Resistance. Everything else is useless. We're not spellcasters, we don't use accuracy. This is completely a defensive item. Similarly, the shield, lots of ES is what you want from here and a little bit of resistance. If you can get some life from it, that's fine. In this case, we got a boatload of energy shield. In the end, they both serve to absorb damage, so that's all good. Body armor, Spider Silk Robe is pretty low tier, but we got it to 6 sockets and lucky 6 link. It has a good energy percentage roll, it has a good life roll, and it has a rubbish flat energy shield bonus on it. And we crafted some resists on here. Ideally, you would get the +7 to maximum energy shields to be somewhere in the 90s or even better. That would easily push this one into the 350 to 400 energy shield range. Val Regalia is the top tier energy shield armor. I'm still hoping to get a 6 socketed one, or at least one that has a slightly higher item level. This one's item level 72. 73 is another tier where I believe it was the life that gets access to another tier. So just holding out for that, because this one is pretty good in the meantime. Helmet. Currently using just a regular circlet. Pretty rubbish rolls on here, to be honest. I'm keeping it because of the chaos resistance and a decent fire resistance roll, but it's at item level 59, so this is definitely up for replacement. Bone helmet is what I want. Doesn't drop until item level 75, so that's gonna be tier 7, tier 8 maps. Tier 8 maps, I think, is where they drop from regular mobs. From lower tier maps, the graveyard is a tier 4 map. If you get +4 from a chest, you might be lucky to drop it, or of course if you upgrade it. Armory similarly is a level 74 area, so from all the blues and yellows it can drop there. Bone helmet is going to be nice. Otherwise, no, there are better pure energy shield helmets that you can use. Get yourself a boatload of energy shield. Basically, between your body armor, your shield and your helmet, you should be able to get at least 1,000 energy shield on the armors itself. I currently have, oh, this is 550, 700. So you can increase it by quite a bit. So we should be able to push this closer to 5,000 with I'm gonna say ease if you get the proper base items with proper enchantments. So again, currency is your friend there. Oh, I got a decent stack of Orbs of Alchemy and Chaos Orbs. I keep using the Chaos Recipe. As always, Chaos Recipe is constrained by your jewelry, specifically amulets and rings. Everything else is pretty easy to acquire. Also, let's put this one in here just to complete it. So basically, whenever I find rings and amulets, I look at the Chaos Stash tab and sell things. All the other things, they basically just get identified and sold for Orbs of Alteration, which I'm still using to buy more Jewelers Orbs, which you can turn into Orbs of Fusing, which you can use to hopefully get yourself 6 links, or at least 5 links. Rings, just some resistances on here, bit of life, bit of ES. It's not terribly great in terms of life and ES, but the resists are solid. Similarly here, solid resist, nothing else that's actually worth its weight. The amulet, it's for strength and dex, in order to fit some of the gems that require those stats. And there's a bit of life on here and some fire resist to make it worthwhile. Mana on kill, fire damage on attacks, all rubbish. Belt. Yeah, I'm keeping this one because it has a decent life roll and chaos resistance. Other than that, it's rather forgettable. The gloves are also pretty decent life. ES is on the weekend and some lightning resist on here helps. And the boots have solid resistance, some movement and some life, but again ES is rubbish. So on a whole, no, our gear is really not stellar. This is just rares. Some of them crafted using essences, some of them found, some of them just rolled with orbs of alchemy, and this wand I actually crafted by just transmuting something, oak spamming it until I got the chaos resist, and then using a regal orb to turn it into a magic item, and then I crafted the fire resistance on top. So that's also something you can do. Downside, of course, is that the first two modifiers with the orbs of alteration, you can basically control what it is. Then you get a random modifier from regaling it. Then you can mastercraft something on top, and then you could spend 2 exalts to add 2 more properties on it. Or I think if you got level 8 Elrion, you can craft a modifier on top of it that you can actually add another mastercraft. So you have potentially 2 or 3 mastercrafts that you could use to kit it out. But the thing is with mastercrafts, they are basically mid-tier enchantments, not top-tier enchantments. The resists, they go up to 30 at the highest. Yeah, see, they go up to 30. While in wild they can drop up to 44, I think. So there's quite a discrepancy. With life, similarly, you can roll it up to 64 life, but the top tier life rolls are about 100, 110, that range. Similarly, for energy shield percentage, it's the tier 2, tier 3 rolls, they go over 100%, and I think the tier 1 rolls go up to about 130%. So this is about half of what you could get with a really lucky roll. So while you're leveling, mastercrafting is really powerful. But for the end game, if you want to maximize things, I'm afraid spending chaos orbs to randomly reroll things, or using essences, like for example essences of woe or essences of greed to roll top tier life is pretty good. I mean, this is a tier 5 essence of greed, and you get 80 to 89 life on a helmet, 90 to 99 on a body armor. That's, I think, tier 3, then tier 2, and then tier 1. But it's pretty good stuff. Similarly here, this is not bad, though I think we have items that rolled better. 113, I think this is a tier 1 energy shield roll. Last but not least, of course, we have flasks. Herald Life flask of seething, so it's insta heal. You always want to have at least one of those, so you can just spam it 3 times in a row if need be to get yourself some emergency life. This one removes shocking. And we have a bubbling flask that also fixes our bleeding, so it's part insta heal, part heal over time. Our mana flask also removes burning, so that's shock, bleeding, burning. Freeze and chill on the quartz flask for some defensive advantage, and then a quicksilver flask that removes our curses and has some increased duration. So it's nice to run longer, and it's also nice to resist or to be immune to curses for a while longer. And with that, I think we have completely caught up with where we are with the build and where we are going. Skill tree, well, we've gone over the skill tree multiple times. Current goal, we are level 80. Goal until level 84 is to go to Written in Blood. This is going to boost our life and energy shield quite a bit still. So I wouldn't be surprised if just these 4 skill points are going to boost us by, say, another effective 1000 hit points, making us even tankier and even more forgiving for basically player errors, because of course player errors are the things that will kill you most of the time. And with that, I'm gonna thank you very much for watching. and I'll see you again next time. Bye bye.